Let's move on, Jeff.
Okay, moving on to a Malbec. It's from Argentina.
Okay.
This also comes in a Stelvin or a screw cap.
Okay.
So this wine again is not meant to be aged for very long. Although this certainly would do fine for if you bought it and held it for a year or two. It would not negatively affect the wine at all, and it might actually help just a little bit.
How long have they been doing screw top wines?
It's really only been, other than very cheap wine, it's really only been around for about the last 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's come about because there is really starting to be a shortage of good quality cork in the world. Cork, I don't know, it comes from a tree. It's a very specific type of tree, and what they have to do is they have to peel the bark off the tree in anywhere from 2 to 3 inches, and then they lay it flat, and then they sort of punch out the corks.
Okay.
And so, because of the vast amount of growth in the wine industry and people's need for cork, they've had to come up with other types of closures in order to meet the high demand. So this is one. Synthetic cork is another, which you will have.
I think I've seen those.
Yeah, they'll sometimes be odd colored, pink or yellow or things like that. They kind of plasticky feel, and those work okay too. I would actually prefer, I would prefer one of the twist offs than a synthetic cork. And then one of the ones I really love is, and not too many do this, is they have a little glass stopper they put on the top, and then they wrap it, and it's a little glass stopper with a little sort of rubberized cap, I guess, around there that cushions between the stopper and the top of the bottle, and you use that, and it's reclosable, and I really like that. I thought that was a nice, a good way. You don't see it. I've only seen it in maybe 15, 20 wines that are out there that I've seen that use it, but it's one of the things I like a lot.
Okay, so where are we now?
So now we're moving, like I said, we're moving to the Southern Hemisphere. We're down in Argentina.
Okay.
And this is it's called a Reunion Malbec from 2009. Okay, now there are well over 200 different varieties of grapes that are used in different wines around the world. Malbec is originally came from France. It is a blending grape, and it was a blending grape used with Cabernets and Merlots. So it was a type of grape that they used to blend and add a different flavor into the wine that they were making. It's still highly well used in France, and it's now basically the main grape of Argentina. As a matter of fact, most of the red wine that's imported will be a Malbec out of Argentina.
So we are rubbing that against and should we look at the color also?
Yeah, this is a good one where we can go back to and look at the color. Now this is a young wine, so you're going to see a deeper, richer color. You'll see it'll be a little lighter around the ends, but you're not really going to see a lot of browning around the ends or oxidation.
This is so cool.
With an older wine, you definitely would start to see some browning and oxidation around the edges of the wine.
Okay. So we've swirled it around our glass. And, ooh, that's strong. Let's see. That's strong.
Yeah, it's a big wine. It's a big red wine, meant to go with hearty food. This can stand up to a lot of things. First and foremost, I would certainly pair it with a good piece of meat.
Okay.
So a nice big steak, something like that. Lamb, it would go excellent with. Something hearty. Could also stand up to most Italian food with no problem whatsoever.
What do you smell, Jeff? I guess I just have a really bad nose.
We just opened this, so remember I was going to say when we got to reds, I was going to talk about what's the best way to serve the wine and things. When you have a young wine like this, what I like to do is I like to open it and either do one of two things. Either decant it, so you pour the whole bottle into another bottle, into a decanter, because that really will mix the air and start to open the wine up and soften it a little bit.
You know, can I stop you there real quick? It's funny you say that because I was watching a movie the other day, and the guy did that. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's wasting that whole bottle. You know, what if they don't drink it? Now it's out of the, it's was out of the wine bottle, and he poured it into a decanter and everything. And but there you go.
Well, yeah, and I don't like to, you know, a red wine. You can go for a couple of days, but you know, I'll sometimes actually even will be good, and even sometimes a little better the second day after you've opened it, let it sit on the counter. After it's opened up a little bit, then you've recorked it. So you can do that. But in a sense, that's sort of what you're doing by putting it into the decanters. You're hastening that process of mixing the air and bringing the air into the wine to soften it up, break it down a little bit. And so, but then it's sort of at the beginning, air is your friend. After a while, air becomes the enemy of wine, because after it's been sitting for more than 24 hours or so, the air will start to negatively affect, that open will start to negatively affect the wine.
Really?
So, but as I was going to say, so that's one way is to decant it. And if you had, I would decant it maybe 15-20 minutes before you're ready to serve it to your guests.
Okay.
Other thing that I often do is what I will do is if I'm making dinner and I know we're going to be having red wine, I'll put the wine glasses out. I will open the red and I will pour 2 glasses and just let it sit in the glasses for about 15 or 20 minutes. So that means these particular glasses that you just poured are getting air, and now you've also created a lot more air inside the bottle. So now air is getting into the bottle and interacting with the wine.
Which is not a good thing?
No, it is a good thing at that point, because we're just getting this wine ready to serve.
Right.
So
now, with reds, we should not chill these like we did the others.
You
is that correct?
No, that is correct. You
Okay.
do not want to chill. The only thing, now, there's nothing wrong with having it cool, or what they call cellar temperature. And cellar temperature is right around 60 degrees. So if you, you know, there are oftentimes like I might have left, you know, a case of wine in my car, chilly night, you know, bring it in, and it actually tastes pretty good if it's just a little cool. You do not want it cold though. You'll lose a lot of that flavor. You won't draw out all the flavors in it if when a red wine gets very cold.
Okay, interesting. All right, so yeah, this taste is a little. I don't know.
Richard, it's already changed. I've had a second sip, and I've already started to see the difference between the first and the second. Yeah, it's only been in the glass maybe 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm saying, let me pour just a little bit more in your glass, and then you can put it aside, and then swirl it a little bit, put it aside, and then just come back to it in about 10 minutes and see if it tastes any different to you.
Should I take a bite of my crackers to make sure?
I would still come back in about 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, this is really amazing. Really, I think once you learn about wines, you really obviously can appreciate them more. And you've been doing this for many, many, many years, so it's just an immediate to you, like you said, just within seconds you were able to taste the difference in that taste. So again, when someone's a novice like myself, and do you suggest they go to? Does Total Wines have wine tastings?
They actually do have wine tastings. They have wine tastings that they run usually on the weekends, and get this, it costs 10 cents.
Really?
What they do at Total Wines is they have this little wine bar in the middle of the store, and they often get representatives, wineries, different people to come and pour different types of wine. And but it's illegal. They cannot do it for free. So that's why they charge you 10 cents.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a total. Now there you're just going to sample. You're gonna have a limited. They're gonna have, you know, maybe at most 6 wines out, and they're going to be specific to that person who's trying to sell it. So it could be that particular retailer or that particular winery or that particular distributor.
Okay. Well. We are wrapping up. Time flew. We'll have to do this again, Jeff.
All right, no problem.
So I'm DONNA Sam. 5 minutes. Okay. So I'm sorry, Henry, that you said 5 seconds. But
well, then let's quickly go back while we were talking about that. Another great place is if you're in Los Angeles area in the West Side, a place I used to work called the Wine House.
Okay.
It's on Cotner Avenue between Pico and Olympic. They are an excellent wine shop, and for you that have, you know, because wine can be so daunting and so overwhelming, what you need to do is you need to find a good retailer like that, go in, talk to them, tell them what you're looking for, tell them what you're interested in, and a good, reliable retailer will help you make good selections on wine that will meet that will match well to your palate and or whatever you're serving that night. And the wine house also has some great classes going on for all levels of wine people, from beginners to very skilled wine aficionados, let's say. You can find classes there that will fit your whatever you're looking for. They're more than 10 cents for sure, but it's a great way, good way to spend an evening too. Fun.
We'll have to post some of this information on our page for folks out there that are looking for great places to taste wine, or just trying to figure out a good starter wine for them as far as white or red. So this is really awesome information, Jeff. I really appreciate this.
And going up to wine country is always fun too. Just taking wine tours up in Santa Barbara, up in Napa, that whole area, Paso Robles, those are all great. And you can also look for wine festivals that are happening. Paso Robles has several wine festivals that are very reasonable and just a whole lot of fun.
Great. And what do they do? Like you do about 4 or 5 wineries? And
if you're doing a tour, I would suggest 3 to 5 wineries a day. I would also suggest contacting, either having a designated driver, someone who maybe is just there to have fun with everybody, and is just going to taste very moderately, or book with a local wine tour company, and they'll set you up on a great wine tour that can include dinner or lunch, or all sorts of things. So
oh, great!
It's a great outing.
And that's a great, almost like a staycation. You don't have to travel across the country or anything, or anything like that, or to the other side of the world. Just book a nice little wine tasting trip, and local Santa Barbara, like Jeff was saying, or Paso Robles, or anywhere up north, and dinner and wine tasting, and enjoy it with a bunch of friends. Well, Jeff, you really opened my eyes to wine tasting and what to do when I've opened the bottle, and appreciating the taste and how to pair it. And I'm going to have to invest in some better glasses, I think. Or get a couple of jars.
Yeah.
But definitely as far as letting my wine kind of sit. But you were absolutely right. The taste I took after the first was different.
Right.
So, and is that common with all reds, that the taste changes
you will see
immediately
changes
like that?
in almost all reds.
Okay.
That is correct. You don't see them quite as much as in whites as you do in reds.
Okay. So as we begin to wrap up our show, and again, thank you so much for being in the mix.
My
I
pleasure.
really appreciate it, and we'll have to come back and revisit this. What do you think are the top 3 things, or maybe there's a little bit more, that people that are wine novices should know? And starting out, or if they want to invest in some bottles, what do you suggest they get?
Couple things. Don't be afraid of telling the person. Find a good retailer. Don't be afraid of telling them what you want. If you're not a big red fan, if you're not ready for reds, and you're looking for something more on the sweet side, tell them that, and they'll steer you in the direction that you want to go. Okay, so don't be afraid to do that. The other thing is, to me, find a good retailer and don't rely on supermarkets or those sorts of things.
Okay.
So really find a good wine shop, and you'll do much better, and they'll be able to answer all your questions for you.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, this has really been a great show, and thank you again. Thank you all for being in the mix. I'm Donna Sam, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Yay, great job, Jeff.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for being here today.
No problem. That was fun.